Alien Covenant is 179 minutes long and hasn't had a single second cut. This is unprecedented for a film imported into China. You have to understand that when Prometheus was brought in, it was cut by about 2 minutes, with 14 scenes removed altogether. Alien Covenant was cut by 6 minutes, and crucial scenes were entirely missing. Fortunately, I watched the uncut version. Otherwise, it would have been impossible to understand the series. The leniency shown by the Broadcasting Administration in importing this film indicates a change in China's attitude toward imported films, as these actions are part of efforts to boost the entertainment industry. This also highlights the urgent need for a film rating system in China. Because Alien Covenant wasn't cut, an 8-year-old viewer was frightened, leading to parental complaints and the film trending on social media. These events indirectly show that this is undoubtedly a qualified B movie. However, the parents were overly careless, not fully understanding the film's content before letting their child watch something inappropriate. Alien Covenant has 2 main highlights, which are loved by some non-Alien fans, showing a tendency to break out of its niche. In fact, these 2 highlights echo elements from other Alien films. For example, the humanoid alien at the end. This actually appeared earlier in Alien Resurrection, where the protagonist, Ripley, gave birth to a monster, a humanoid alien. Its appearance was gruesome, even more terrifying than the humanoid alien in Alien Covenant. When the protagonist killed it, she used her own acid blood to breach the ship's door, causing the creature to be sucked into space. Similarly, in Alien Covenant, the humanoid alien is also sucked into space. The 2 deaths are almost identical, which could be considered a tribute to the Alien series. The second highlight is the reappearance of the android, Ash. He is a robot who worships the xenomorphs to an extreme degree, and his character is very similar to David's, so he is also dubbed the evil android. This character is actually an intertextual reference to Alien 1979, implying that the android on the Nostromo mining ship did not fully die back then. Now he reappears on the Romulus space station, suggesting that the whale and corporation orchestrated the situation, just as they did in Alien 1979, using the crew as hosts for the xenomorphs and intending to bring the xenomorph embryos back to the lab using the crew's bodies. Ash is the secret executor of all these plans. His first action is to upgrade Andy's system, making Andy follow his orders and betray the crew. After receiving Ash's highest command, Andy intentionally doesn't inject the first host with the serum, planning to bring the host and the xenomorph embryo back to the company. Moreover, Andy leads the crew into danger, wanting all of them to be devoured by the xenomorphs and turned into experimental samples. It's only at the last moment that the protagonist updates Andy's data, freeing him, allowing him to become the protagonist's right-hand man and lead the team to success. Meanwhile, Ash's plan is completely exposed. He, like in the first movie, loses his composure, starts cursing the crew, reveals his true plan, and continues to praise the xenomorphs, indulging in his great mission. However, the crew members who were hosting the xenomorphs do not believe him. They activate the autopilot system to return to the company, but on the only spacecraft, a humanoid alien is born. This is the second humanoid alien in the series, and this time, it resembles a human even more. This plot actually explores another theme: the feasibility of life evolving from oviparous, egg-laying, to viviparous, live birth. Ash is the driving force behind this experiment, and the result is exactly what he wanted. The whale and corporation has always been committed to creating a perfect life form. They believe that humans are imperfect and unable to complete long-term space colonization missions, so they must find a life form that can survive in harsh environments to replace humans in these tasks. Since the xenomorphs are too savage and beast-like to be fully tamed, they started researching humanoid xenomorphs. Humanoid xenomorphs are clearly controllable, and they ultimately succeeded in evolving the xenomorphs from oviparous to viviparous beings. These viviparous humanoid xenomorphs, once domesticated, no longer need human bodies as hosts. They can reproduce viviparously on their own, enabling them to fulfill space colonization missions across the universe. However, their plan is eventually thwarted by the protagonist. The only viviparous xenomorph is thrown into space, just like the large xenomorph was thrown into space back in the day. The protagonist becomes the only survivor. In conclusion, the story of this movie is still too thin, making it just a qualified sci-fi horror film. From start to finish, it's about escaping from an enclosed space, with no connection to the origin of life theme explored in the Alien prequels. It's merely a conventional side story, without the grand worldview of Prometheus or the unique innovation of Alien Resurrection, but with some cliched scary scenes and more intense horror elements. Nonetheless, it's still a rare Alien film.